you like now? Last.
Yeah, then I'll be doing a better. But I have only branching in my system and guess.
We can do it. It's not a big deal. Just 5 minutes only. 5 minutes only. Okay. So 8 to 9 batch can wind up for today. So if you have any questions, ping me on WhatsApp.
Harsha?
So we practice చేసండి ఎవరు
మోనికా.
యా మౌనిక చెప్పండి.
హర్ష ఇది ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ లో మనము ఎబో క్రియేటెడ్ క్లాస్ కింద ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ అది ఒక్కసారి చూపించరా?
క్రియేట్ you can create one by one or you can right click on this and choose create properties.
Okay, okay.
ఇలాగే చేయొచ్చు. చెప్పండి చెప్పండి. సమ్మని సంథింగ్.
నేను స్వామన్నా సార్.
చాలండి చెప్పండి.
సర్టిఫికేషన్ రిలేటెడ్ ఒకసారి నాకు కంట్రోల్
సర్టిఫికేషన్
ఇది నేను పీడిఎం లో లాగిన్ అయ్యాను, బట్ ఇక్కడ డౌన్లోడ్ చేయడానికి ఇది వేరే అతను నేమ్ వస్తుంది అని చెప్పి కంట్రోల్. సరే నా స్క్రీన్ కంట్రోల్ ఇస్తారు నాకు.
Yeah, I will give you. I will make you presenter. Swamana, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make you presenter. Yeah, I will answer the question.
యాక్చువల్గా ఇక్కడ అకాడమీలోకి వెళ్ళేసి మై సర్టిఫికేట్స్ అంటే ఇక్కడ గో టు వెరిఫై సర్టిఫికేషన్.
Yeah, verify certification. Enter your first name and last name. Yeah. First name, last name, you search first. Whatever that you have given.
No certification required.
No certification. Your email ID. Your email ID. Based on your email ID. Both are same submit buttons. You are clicking on one place, which will go to another place also. Remove that. Yes. You got it with your email ID now. Now it's done, right?
నరేష్ కుమార్
సర్టిఫైడ్ సిస్టమ్ వచ్చినాయి ఏంటండి.
అదే ఏమైందంటే ఆ రోజు అక్కడ ఎగ్జామ్ సెంటర్ లో ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి కింద నేను ఆ రోజు మెయిల్ పంపించాను కదా, ఈ నరేష్ కుమార్ అనేటువంటి అతను మెయిల్ ఐడి ఇచ్చారట.
ఓకే ఫైన్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోగలుగుతున్నారో లేదో చూసి డౌన్లోడ్ అయిన సర్టిఫికెట్ లో కరెక్ట్ గా ఉన్నాయి లేదా డీటెయిల్స్ చూడాలి మనం. మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే
డౌన్లోడ్ ఎక్కడ చేయాలి?
అదే ఇక్కడ అకాడమీలో కదండి, అక్కడ వ్యూ ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్ కదా, వ్యూ మై సర్టిఫికేషన్స్, ఇక్కడ మై సర్టిఫికేషన్స్ లోనే ఉన్నారు ఇప్పుడు.
అవునవును, ఇందాక అదే క్లిక్ చేస్తే
మీ నేమ్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి. మీ నేమ్ మీద హలో స్వామన్న మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి. హలో స్వామన్న నేను తీసుకెళ్ళండి మౌస్ కర్సర్ కదా, దాని మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి. ఏం రావట్లేదా?
క్లిక్ చేయండి, వస్తుంది. అదే కొంచెం ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుంది,
మీరు చేయండి. రావట్లేదు. ఓకే, ప్రాసెస్ అవుతుందా? దాని మీద క్లిక్ చేసి ఆడు ప్రొసీజర్
ఇక్కడ ఈ వ్యూ పెద్ద ట్రాన్స్క్రిప్ట్ అని ఉంది కదా, అదేంటి?
ఎక్కడ ఉంది చూపించండి, ఎక్కడ ఉంది? ఇక్కడికి రావాలి, కిందకి వెళ్ళండి. ఇక్కడ డౌన్లోడ్ అనే ఆప్షన్ రావాలి, ఎక్కడో ఉంటుంది, ఎక్కడో అక్కడ నాకు. మీ నేమ్ మీద క్లిక్ చేసి వెళ్ళొచ్చు. మీ నేమ్ మీద
2 సర్టిఫికేషన్స్ అని చూపిస్తున్నాను.
ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా చెప్పండి, షేర్ ఇట్ ఫర్ సమ్వన్ హౌ టు డౌన్లోడ్ దిస్.
అదే నేను అదే చెప్తున్నా, అంటే నాకు కూడా ఇదే సేమ్ ఇష్యూ వస్తుంది. అంటే నాకు సర్టిఫికేషన్ కనబడుతుంది ఇక్కడ, బట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు డౌన్లోడ్ ఇట్. ఐ మీన్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ ఎనీ డౌన్లోడ్ బటన్.
ఆగండి ఒక నిమిషం, అదే ఏదో ప్రొసీజర్ ఉంటుంది డౌన్లోడ్ ప్రొసీజర్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ చెప్తా అండి. ఇక్కడ నేమ్ అడుగు, మెయిల్ పెడతాడండి, మెయిల్లో ఉంటుంది. మెయిల్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే క్లియర్గా వస్తుంది మీకు. మెయిల్ ఉందా మీకు? మెయిల్ వచ్చిందా పెగా సిస్టమ్స్ నుంచి? ఆ మెయిల్లో ఉంటుంది, సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే. సరే చూడండి ఒకసారి స్వామన్న, వి విల్ సీ ఇట్ లేటర్. లేదా మీ మెయిల్ ఐడి పాస్వర్డ్ నాకు పింక్ చేయండి, నేను స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసి పంపిస్తాను మీకు ఎలా చేయాలనేది. లేకపోతే ఐ విల్ టేక్ ద ఈమెయిల్ ఫ్రమ్ సమ్మన్ అండ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ యూ.
జస్ట్ డౌన్లోడ్ దట్ అండ్ పుట్ ఎ సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ ఆర్ హార్డ్ కాపీ పెట్టుకోవడం, అంటే ఎలా పెట్టుకోవాలి సర్టిఫికేట్ నీది?
మీరే, నా దగ్గర అసలు ఒక్కటి కూడా లేదండి. ఆ లోపల ఉంటే చాలు పీడిఎన్లో.
ఓకే, అది ఉంటే సరిపోతుందా?
అక్కడ ఉంటే చాలు, ఇంకా అక్కడే చెక్ చేస్తారు, ఎవరు అడగరు మిమ్మల్ని. నా దగ్గర ఏం లేవు మరి వరకు.
ఓకే ఓకే, సరే సరే, ఓకే ఓకే
ఓకే. ఓకే, సో విల్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. మీరు పెద్దవాళ్ళు పడితే ఆన్లైన్లో జాయిన్ అయిపోండి, ఇక్కడ రావాల్సిన పని లేదు. ఎప్పుడైనా పెద్దవాళ్ళు పడినప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్గా ఆన్లైన్లో జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఈమెయిల్ వస్తుంది. ఒక నిమిషం, నేను మీటింగ్ క్లోజ్ చేశాను ఏంటి? మీటింగ్ క్లోజ్ ఉంది కదా, వెయిట్ వచ్చింది చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది. థ్యాంక్ యూ. గో టు మీటింగ్ వెళ్ళి మీటింగ్ ఐడి నోట్ చేసి పెట్టుకోండి. రేపు ఏమన్నా వారం పడినా కానీ 150-763-987 150-763 నోట్స్లో రాసుకోండి. 150-763-997. మీరు కూడా వారం పడితే ఆన్లైన్లో జాయిన్. ఆ ఫైన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండెక్స్ ఇది 150-763-997. సో ఇది ఎవరికి షేర్ చేయొద్దు. ఓకే, సో హూ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ వన్ జాయిన్? అంజీ ఓకే, అంకరాజు ఓకే, అనూప్ శుక్లా, దివాకర్, కాంచన్ కుమార్, మీనాక్షి ఓకే, నవీన్ కుమార్, పిఎస్కే ప్రవీణ, ప్రసన్న లక్ష్మీరాయ, రాఘవేంద్ర, రాజేష్, రాకిరెడ్డి, శ్రీశెట్టి, తేజు, వంశీకృష్ణ, విష్ణు, బండ్లముడి. ఓకే, సో ఇంకా వేరే వాళ్ళు, నేను ఒకళ్ళ పేరు చదవలేదు. ఎవరు? దిస్ ఇస్ ద ప్రాసెస్. Someone else. I'm going to pick it. ఓకే, మీరు జాయిన్ అయినప్పుడు మీ నేమ్ ఎంటర్ చేయండి. అక్కడ ఇలా వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ నేమ్లీ అన్నద్దు, మీ నేమ్ అడుగుతుంది, ఎంటర్ చేయండి. ఎంటర్ చేసి జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఓకే, సో ఫైన్. So we have seen how to create a new application. Okay, so today I will show you some existing functionality. Yeah, Kumar, that's fine. Good morning. Waiting for the instructions. Yeah, I will send it. After the class I can send it. Okay. See, if you have attended the demo, otherwise you can go through the demo and see in Pega or PPM, whatever it is. You will create user interface, business logic, and whatever it is, database, and everything, whatever that you create, if you want to invoke, you need to have a process that is called workflow. So we will learn how to design the flow and all. So we are going to learn out of those three, we are going to learn only UI now. Okay, how to design user interface, Basically, we'll see in Pega. See, I will go ahead and run a flow and show you. First of all, how to do it, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, I have a workflow here, customer details flow. I'm going to run this. How to create this flow and all, I'll talk about it. Okay, so this screen is not required. I'm going to click on that. So okay, see here, this is a screen which I have developed. Leave about the topmost, whatever you see. This only bother about this. Provide your basic information. First name, last name. This is the application form giving your basic details. First name, last name. I will tell you the practical. Only think about what is this here. Okay, practically how to do, I will tell you in a minute. Okay. See here I have a UI. So which will accept the user basic details. Okay. And email address, how to come here, how to execute and all, you will be learning. Okay, state and then the respective city, zip code, okay, and all I have given, and then I am going to submit this. See, if I submit, the information is submitted, that's it. Okay, first thing is how to design the UI which I have shown you here. Okay, so today we are going to learn, if you have a form given to you, design this form. First of all, how to design that form, how to execute the form, business logic and all we'll see later. Okay, so we are going to basically learn about UI in these 3 days. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and day after tomorrow also. Okay, so UI and some basic stuff in the UI. So this is the form which I want to design. Okay, see here, you need to remember this. If you want to design user interface, okay, you need to create one rule in Pega called section. Okay, section is the name of the rule. Okay, one of the rule type. So you need to create a rule to design the user interface section. Every time when you want to design a rule, design UI, you need to create a rule called section. You can blindly remember it now. Okay, now what is the section I can show you. Now this is the UI, right? For this UI, I will open the design environment. Okay, design. Okay, so this is the design phase. Okay, this is the design phase. What are these called? Text box, text box. What are these called? Text box, radio buttons, drop downs we have, right? These are called controls, HTML controls. Okay, how do you get HTML controls here? Okay, see, to design user interface you need HTML controls. Okay, here I have something. Go to data model, I will go to property, and I have some things called, these are called properties. See, everything which I am going to show here to you is everything created by me. Manually I have created one by one. See, first name, where is the first name? I have created a first name also, first name, and I am going to drag and drop simply. Okay, picking this here, similar to this, last name, pick the last name, drag here and drop here. So when I drag and drop a property onto section, it is making the control. How it is making control, I'll talk about it. Okay. So if you want to design UI, you need to create a rule called section. But before section, you need to create what? Properties. If you have a property available, you create a section, drag and drop the property onto section.
Harsha?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harsha, this using last name 2 times, shouldn't it give you an error?
Leave about it. I have not used it previously, so just I am showing you how to do it. Okay, I will give you notes about all this. Yeah, someone else is asking.
We are working on this Wells Fargo insurance operations here.
I'm showing you the existing one.
Okay.
We are working on Wells Fargo, I agree. I'm showing the existing, which is already there. And then we will go to our class, Wells Fargo, and work on it. Okay, now, see here, this is the basic details. Okay, where if I want to design user interface in Pega, blindly you can remember, I need to create a section. How to, we'll see. But in a section, what you will have HTML controls. when you drag and drop the properties onto the section, that will make the controls. Okay, that means before you create a section, you should have already properties in your hand. How to create a property and all, I'll talk about it. Okay, so now after you create properties, you will create section, drag and drop the properties onto the section, it will make the controls. See here, when I drag and drop first name, last name, it is making text imports. I'm going to drag and drop gender. Okay, gender I'm going to drag and drop here, it is making radio button. Okay, and I'm going to drag and drop some other control called, what is that? Say suppose state. It is making a drop down. At runtime you will see. See here, this is a drop down option something. Okay, at runtime you will see the populated values. So how does PRPC knows? First of all, what is this property? Okay, in C language, you know variables, right? Everyone. Okay, what is the variable? Variable contains, variable holds data at runtime. Okay, so what does variable will be associated with? A variable will be associated with a name and with a data type. Clear? This is C language. So equivalent to variable in Pega is called property. Okay, a property will be associated with a name and a class also, because in Java if you are creating a property, you need to create under some class. Okay, we will create the property under some class. Property is associated with a name, okay, class, leave about it, and then data type as we have told. That is called here property type. Data type is equal to property type. I can show you. And now, see here, when I drag and drop first name, it is giving me text box. Drag and drop gender, it is giving me radio button. Drag and drop state, it is giving me drop down. How does PRPC knows which one to give for what? Okay, when I am creating property, see, I will open the rule form for the properties. These are all properties. So the name of the property is first name. First name, and the other property is gender, and another property is state. These are all the properties which I have created manually. Okay, first name. See here, when you go ahead and open the first name, the name of the property is first name, and property type, that is equal to data type. So data type is equal to text. Okay, so now if you see here, also you will select control. This is a drop down. See in Pega, if you see a drop down, if you see a text box like this with a thick blue color dot at the right bottom corner, it is a drop down. To populate this drop down, place your cursor here and click the down arrow on your keyboard. You have 4 arrows, right? Left, right, top and down. Down arrow if you click, you will see predefined controls available here. All the predefined controls. I can choose the control which I want. So text box is the control for first name. Similar to last time also text box. If you go to gender, what is the control? Radio buttons. This control identifies how this property should be visible when it is taken to the design type of the UI. That's called section. See for state you see what is the control? Drop down. So it will be prefixed with PX and all. I'll tell you what is PX, UI period and all later.
So this PX drop down, everything is predefined. So
yeah, everything is predefined only. Predefined only. Okay, all these controls are predefined. Now, see here. So when first thing is, if I want to design UI, I need to create a section. But before that, I should have properties in hand. I need to identify what are all the properties to be created in order to design this thing. And what is the each property name, and what is the type of the property, and what should be the control. I should have everything in my mind. Okay. So now, so if you see here for a gender, so it displays here male, female for radio buttons. If you go to the gender property, here you have table type local list, and I can specify the values here. If I specify n number of values here, n number of radio buttons will be available. For similar to that, for drop down also, I will specify the local list values. Those will be populated in the drop down. Okay, so clear? So now I have created a user interface, right? After you are done with creating user interface, properties I have created, I identified all these things and done. After that, I started designing UI by creating section. I created the section, drag and drop all the properties onto section. Design of the user interface is done. Next step is, actually I need to call the UI. Once that is done, I should not be invoking UI alone. That is not the way. The BPM, how you will do? You need to have a workflow. Okay, you need to create a workflow and integrate the UI into the workflow, trigger the workflow will trigger the UI. That's what we discussed. How to create, I'll tell you. But the section which you have designed the user interface, you cannot directly call in the flow. That is not possible. Okay. Intermediate to your user interface and flow, there is another rule available. That rule is called flow action. The name of the section here, if you see, the name of the section is customer details SEC. So I will go to the flow action here. Chapan. Yeah, I can send it to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So your flow action here, see, I create one more rule. How to create, I'll tell you. I'll create one more rule, flow action. So which will have the section rule available in it. Flow action is like a container which holds the section rule, and this can be called in the flow. Okay. So without a flow action, you cannot invoke UI. For now, for you, the flow action is like a container to hold the section. Section is a container which holds properties. Okay, so this section will be held into flow action. Flow action will be called in the flow. We will invoke the flow. Flow will invoke the UI. Okay, so these are all the steps. First, you write down the steps. Step by step, we'll do. Okay, so do not write down the steps to do this. First, write down about property, section, flow action, everything. Okay, so we are going ahead with the implementation now. Write down property. So tell me what is a property? So first line you write down, it is similar to variable in C language, so that you will better understand. Property is similar to a variable in other programming languages. Property is similar to a variable in other programming languages. That is, property equal to variable. Okay, clear? Right down. A property is associated with what? Associated with name. First thing is name. A property is associated with name, comma, property type. Property type, right, in this way. Property type, which is equal to, for your understanding, you can write data type of variable. Property type. Anji, if you are not getting audio, you need to check from your end. Okay, property type equal to data type of variable. What is the other one? Control. Third one is control. Okay, write down. It identifies, see here, control. Control identifies how a property should be visible in the UI. Control identifies how a property should be visible in the UI. Okay, so table type you are not required to write down. We can see that. Okay, that's not mandatory always. So this is what a property. Write down. Put a star mark and write down. A property can be created under data model category. I'll tell you what is this data model category. Okay, a property can be created under data model category. Clear? So let's write down. Put a side heading section. So these are the basics which you are going to see now. There will be many things going forward. We'll see about a property, again section, again flow action. Write down section. What is a section?
way contain this container to hold the controls.
Yeah, you can write down this way.
UI.
Section is a UI rule which is used to design user interface. It is the section where you will design UI in Pega. Section is a UI rule which is used to design user interface. Write down. Section holds controls which are associated with properties. Section holds controls which are associated with properties. మనం మర్చిపోయి చెప్పడం పార్కింగ్ ఈ గేట్ ముందంటే చేసుకోండి వెహికల్స్ వాళ్ళ షాప్స్ ముందు కాకుండా ఈ గేట్ ముందంటే చేసుకోండి ఇటు సైడ్ కూడా కొంచెం ఖాళీ చెప్పారా ఓకే దట్స్ ఫైన్ నేను ఎక్కడ మర్చిపోయాను సెక్షన్ హోల్డ్స్ కంట్రోల్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ అసోసియేటెడ్ విత్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ లేదు అంటే మా ఇంటి దగ్గర చేసుకుని ఇక్కడ రావాలి నడవండి కొంచెం holds controls which are associated with properties. Okay, so write down one more point. Section contains layouts. What is the layout? I'll show you. Okay, section contains layouts, comma. We need to drag the properties. We need to drag and drop the properties into the layouts. I'll show you what is a layout. Next, flow action. See the definition of flow action, one which I am going to give you. Okay, it is also correct. It's not 100% correct. Sorry, it's the second definition. The original definition I'll give you later. For now, you write down this. A flow action is a UI rule. Flow action is a UI rule. Flow action is a UI rule. Sorry, a flow action is a process rule. A flow action is a process rule. See, that was a UI rule in 6. From 7 onwards, it is a process rule. A flow action is a process rule. మీరు ఆ యూఐ పెట్టి స్లాష్ పెట్టుకునైనా రాసుకోవచ్చు ప్రాసెస్ రూల్ దట్స్ ఫైన్ ప్రాసెస్ రూల్ which holds a section into it that is flow action is like a container for a section, container of a section. Flow action is like a container of a section. A flow action can hold one and only one section. A flow action can hold one and only one section. Okay, so you can call only one section a flow action. Write down. A flow action can be called, a flow action can be invoked, can be called in a flow using, so write down this, I will talk about it in a few minutes. A flow action can be called in a flow using assignment shape. Okay, so done. So wait here now. See, I have created a flow action and then finally I need to create a workflow that is called process and then invoke the flow action into the flow. See, I'll show you the basic workflow here. Flow, workflow, process. Everything is same. Okay, see here you have a workflow or flow or process, whatever it is. Okay, see a flow contains different flow shapes. Okay, so one is start shape, which you will see in green color circle, and the red circle is end shape, and in between what you see here is called assignment shape. How to create a flow, I'll tell you. Assignment shape. Now when you go ahead and trigger a flow like this, you will run the flow. Trigger the flow will start at the start shape, proceed towards end shape by invoking all in between flow shapes. Okay, so in the assignment shape, the purpose of assignment shape, one of the purpose, that is a mandatory purpose. If you have assignment shape, you must have to call a flow action into it. How to call, I'll show you. Okay, you must have to call a flow action into the assignment shape. For now, there is a lot of functionality behind assignment shape. For now, assignment shape will be used to display the user interface, so that, and also assignment shape is will be used whenever you need any manual intervention in the workflow. Manual intervention when you have, as a person, you can access an application when you have user interface. That's it. Okay, so assignment shape is this one. Assignment shape will be used to display user interface to the end users. Okay, flow gets started at start shape and ends at the end shape. Okay, in between you can have a number of flow shapes. What is the best way to design a flow? We'll be learning one by one. Clear? We'll basically design a flow and run it and see how to invoke it. That is what today. After you run the flow, what is happening in the background and all, we'll see. Okay, tomorrow that we can see. So are you clear so far? Okay. I will talk about it. Yesterday I talked about it. Yesterday what we have done? We just created this one application. It has created a class group. That's it done. After that we are doing today. That's not more than that. Yesterday we have done. Whatever that we have done the day before yesterday, we have seen half of the class. Okay, fine. We'll go ahead and repeat it from tomorrow. Okay, fine. So write down one more point here in the flow action. Flow action can be created under process category. So for a section you can add one more point. Section can be created under user interface category. Above one section, right? Section can be created under user interface category. Put a star mark and you can write down. Flow action is process category. Section can be created under user interface category. That you can add in the section where you have written for the section. And the section can be created under user interface category. So property can be created under data model category that you have written already. Section can be created under user interface category. Flow action can be created under process category. I'll show you what is the category and how to create it. So next write down process or flow or workflow. Whatever it is. Process or flow or workflow. Flow can be created under process category. It is the heart of the application that it is the heart of the application that it triggers all the rules which we integrate into the flow. Integrate into the flow. How we'll integrate, I'll show you. Okay, right on. A flow can have different flow shapes connected to each other. A flow can have different flow shapes. A flow can have different flow shapes connected to each other. The below are basic flow shapes. The below are basic flow shapes. We'll be learning one by one when we need it. The below are basic flow shapes. First one, start. S-T-A-R-T. Start. Okay. Flow gets started at this shape. Flow gets started at this shape. Okay, and a flow gets completed at this shape, and a flow gets completed at this shape. Next, put a star mark and write down. A flow should have one and only one start shape and at least one end shape. What is the meaning of this?
So,
The flow should have one and only one start shape.
start and end is must. Start is must and end is must.
End is must. End is one. At
Flow
least
will
one
start
end shape.
at starts and end will end.
Yeah. See, you should have only one start shape in a workflow. N number of end shapes you can have. Okay. You can have multiple end shapes. Whatever the decisions you will take, it will end that direction. Okay. Next. What is the next one? Third one. Assignment shape. Assignment shape. So we'll write one of the purpose of the assignment shape now. We'll be looking at routing and all using it later. Okay. Right up. An assignment shape is being used primarily. An assignment shape is being used primarily right up. An assignment shape is used for the purpose of primarily for the purpose of calling a flow action. Calling a flow action, that is to display user interface to end users and customers, whatever it is. Okay. Okay, right on. This flow shape is required This flow shape is required whenever a user interaction is needed within the workflow. With the workflow. So this flow shape is required whenever a user interaction is needed with the workflow. Okay. Done. So we'll go ahead and see this now and put a star mark and write down. A flow action can be called into the flow using assignment shape, assignment shapes. A flow action can be called into the flow using assignment shapes, outward connector. Okay, so we will see now how to do all these things. Whatever that we are going to complete, we will complete now. Okay, huh? I will show you. Yeah, see here, if you say outward connector, assignment shape has two connectors, incoming, outward, outgoing connector. That is outward connector. I will show you how to call it. You just connect. I am going to log off now. So what is our application? Double F R, and then rules I'm going to give. So first we'll learn how to design this user interface and how to invoke user interface. Okay. How to design user interface. How to design user interface and add it into a flow and add it into a workflow or flow or whatever it is, process. Add it into a flow. Right now, to design UI, follow below steps. Step 1. So what are the steps now? You can tell me all the steps, I think. First step is what? Identify and create all the required properties to design this, right? Right. Identify and create all the required properties. Identify and create all the required properties. So payment చేసిన వాళ్ళందరూ వాట్సాప్ లో చేశారు కదా, నేను రెస్పాండ్ అయ్యాను కదా. మీరు చేశారా? వాట్సాప్ చేశారు, మీరు చేయాలి పేమెంట్, మీరు వాట్సాప్ చేశారు, మీరు చేస్తారు, మీరు మెసేజ్ పెట్టారు, మీరు చేయాలా పేమెంట్ చేశారా? మీరు చేశారు కదా వాట్సాప్ కదా. Yeah, మీరు చేయాలి. I remember that. Okay. So first step is identify and create all the required properties. So I have created this. Next, we need to create a section, drag and drop the properties, right? Write down in this way. Design user interface by creating a rule called, what is the rule name? Design user interface by creating a rule called section, comma, drag and drop the above created properties, comma, drag and drop the above created properties and drop the above created properties onto the section, onto the layout of section, onto the drag and drop the above created properties onto the layout of section. Okay, that is done. Third step is flow action. Step 3, right? Create a flow action, comma, call the above created section into it. So up to this, it is common to design user interface every time. Okay, if the flow you will create, if you have already flow in existing flow, you can add one more flow shape and add it. Okay, 4 and 5 are optional. Write down fourth step, step 4. After this, step 4 is what we need to do. Flow action is done. Yeah, create a workflow or flow, whatever it is. Create a workflow with an assignment shape. Start and end are common. That's why I'm not mentioning. We should have start and end, obviously. With an assignment shape, comma, call the above created flow action into it. Comma, call the above created flow action into it. See here, first step whatever that you have done, you are going to call that into second step into third into fourth. Okay, write down step 5. We did not talk about this step yet. We will talk about it on day after tomorrow or tomorrow maybe. Okay, write down. Allow the above flow. Write down. Allow the above flow to create a work object. See here. To create a, see here on the screen, work object. WO. Going forward, you can use WO word. Allow the above flow to create a work object, comma, save and run the flow. Okay. Write down the scenario. So these are the steps. We are going ahead with scenario now. Design user interface which captures the basic details of a customer in our business. We are going to see the insurance application. Okay, so in that first screen I am going to create it to be customer screen, customer details screen. Okay, design user interface which captures the basic details of a customer. So what are the basic, see now you can tell me what are the properties that we need to create. Name, mobile number, address details, email ID, this and all we can go ahead and create. Yeah, first name, last name. If you want to have full name you can have. Okay, first name, last name, age, gender, state, city, zip code, email address, phone number. If you want date of birth we can include. Okay, date of birth if you enter you should have automatically calculate age and all that we can see later. That requires more knowledge. Okay, we'll go with plain text input now. Okay, so we'll create the properties now. Okay, see I am not going to calculate age now. That requires more knowledge. Declarative expressions, it takes a lot of time. So this is, you need to log into your application and you need to go to your application explorer. Okay, so that will display your, what is this one? Class group. Under the class group we'll create everything now. Okay, if you want to create it in the above classes and reuse it, you can reuse it. It's up to you where you want to create. Okay, for now we will do everything in the class group one. Later we'll see the reusability. Okay, so write on implementation. First one, creating properties. Implementation, first one, creating properties. See, I told you property can be created under which category? Data model category. Okay, we are going to see the basic data property. There are n number of ways to do that. Okay, so this is the class group. Okay, I'm going to right click on this class group. Okay, and create. I want to create something. I'll go to create, and property can be created under data model category. Once you go to create, this one will display the categories. What is the category we are talking about? Data model. In the data model category we are talking about property, so you should see that property here. Okay, this is the category landing page, and this is called rule category. Okay, this one is rule category. Second one, and third one is rule type. Property is one of the rule type. And see, when I say property can be created under data model category, create data model property. Section can be created under user interface category. Create user interface section. Section can be created under category. Create category is process, and then flow action. This is the basic way. Okay, there are other ways to create, we'll see one by one. So data model property. Okay, write down first one. What is the first property? Write down first property. Log into our application. Anyway, you will log in. So right click on. So how do you go? You need to go to application explorer. That you need to remember. Okay. So right click on the class group. Create data model property. Asra. I'm going to choose this now. See here on screen. So when I click on property now, where I can give the label, it's a property label. See here now. Say suppose I'm going to write down here first name. Okay, I have spaces and tab out. Identifier is coming without spaces. This is the name of the variable. Okay, in gRPC, this is the display name in the UI. When I drag and drop into the UI, in UI I cannot show first name like this. I have to show first space name something like this. Okay, label is the display name. Label will be concatenated without spaces, trimmed off from the spaces and taken an identifier. This is the name of the property and this is the label which is displayed in the UI. Okay, right now label, enter first name, identifier will automatically be available. Only you write down what we are changing, what we are adding. Remaining things while you are practicing, you can observe it. I will talk about all those things later. These and all I will talk about it later. Okay, label equal to first name. You can write down identifier also. Identifier equal to first without space name. Create and open. Click on create and open. Okay, done. I am going to click on create and open now. Just look at here while I am doing. Look at here. Okay. See what is the property type for it first name. See here we have different property types. Text, and if you want to change, you can click on change. Leave about page and advanced. Date, date type, decimal, double, identifier, integer, prop, text, something like this. So what should be the property type? Text only. First name. And UI control. What could be the UI control? Text input. Text box means text input. By default we got it. We don't need any table type. This just manually will enter. Whatever the defaultly we got, property type text, UI control, everything we can accept. That's it. If you want to change, we can change it. We'll change it for other properties. Accept the defaults and save it. Right. Accept the defaults and save. When you are practicing, you just look at what are all the things that have been coming as default. So I am going to save this now. Here is the save button. See, when I save this one now, property has been created. Okay, I can close this one. If I want to see this here, I should see. See, by default you will not get it. You need to just remember it. If you have not got it, refresh it. Right click on it and refresh all. Okay, if you do that, it will show data model. Expand data model, it will show property. Expand property, it will show the property first name. If you click on the link first name, this one, it will display the property rule form. Okay. So if you are not getting something which you have created here in the left panel, you need to refresh it. That's it, nothing other than that. So after you refresh for the first time, when you are going to create a next property, you can right click on create data model property, you can do. Otherwise, you can right click on directly data model and do create property. Otherwise, you can directly right click on property and create. Anyway is okay. Create, right click on the class group, create data model property. Otherwise, right click on data model, create property. Otherwise, right click on property and create. Open the property, one property, and then you can save as this. But we'll do that later on. Okay? So we'll do that save as and all later. But for now, when you are going ahead, till you get the practice done, you go in this way only. Okay? Property. Next property name is last name. Okay, create and open and save. Write down last name similar to first name. Second property is last name just similar to first name, nothing else, no other change. Every time when you want to create the property, you are not required to write down the navigation. Only once you have already written down. Okay, property navigation is done. So after you create property, any changes you need to write down. So next property name you write down. First name, last name, age. Okay, next property name, write down age. You can write down simply. Where to give and all you have already written. Age. See, property type for age. What is the property type? integer. It should be an integer value. How to restrict it between some value and all, we'll see later, not now. And type equal to text, you have a link here available, change. You can click on the link and choose integer. So just look at here before I choose. Property type equal to text and UI control equal to px text input. This is the text which will accept text properties. And here if I change and choose integer, it is automatically changing the control. Px integer. It is also a text box which will accept only integer values. That validation is already done. Okay. So when I go ahead and choose the property type integer, it is giving px integer, which is also a text box, but it will accept only integer values. Any other value you can try and enter it, it will throw error message. Okay. So you can write down property type integer, UI control equal to px integer. Write down. And then save it. Hello? Yeah. అది నాకు రెంటల్ అగ్రిమెంట్ ఈరోజు వస్తుందండి. రెంటల్ అగ్రిమెంట్ కావాలండి కంపల్సరీ. ఈవినింగ్ కల్లా తీర్పించుకుంటాను. అదే ఓనర్ని అడగాలి. అది రాగానే నేనే మీకు కాల్ చేస్తాను, నెంబర్ సేవ్ చేసుకొని ప్రాసెస్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే ఓకే అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ. 9th ఫేజ్ అదే గూగుల్ ఫ్లాట్స్ పక్కన వచ్చింది. ఇస్తారు. ఓకే, నేను మాట్లాడతాను, ఒక 10 minutes లో కాల్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే ఓకే. జెండర్. సో హియర్ వి గో అండి. ప్రాపర్టీ నేమ్, నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ is gender. You should write only property name. That's it. Gender. And gender is a text or not? Text only, right? Male, female, something, text. And control is not text input. What is the control? Radio buttons. We don't want this control now. I can backspace to delete it. Click the down arrow and choose the radio buttons. You need to write PX radio. If you write RA, it will highlight PX radio buttons. Okay. See, when you are going to do this, you should not write down. You select it from the drop down. Okay. If you write something misspelling or something, uppercase, lowercase, and all, case mismatch, it will not allow. Okay. You should select always. You select it for the to avoid the mistakes. Okay. UI control PX radio buttons. Right. Okay. Just write down this up to here. Control only write down. The gender UI control equal to change it to PX radio buttons. Okay. And table type. What is the table type? See here, there are other options. We are not going to touch now. We are going to touch only local list for now. Later we'll see other options. Remove prompt list and all. Okay. See here now. Table type equal to local list I have chosen. Just look at here. Table type equal to local list I am choosing. Once I choose local list, here it will ask table values. I can enter male. For the next value, I can click on this plus icon and female. Okay, write down this. UI control PX radio buttons, table type, local list, table value is equal to male, and you have a plus icon to add it, female, and then save it. Okay. So gender after, we'll create another property, state. State. See, we can load the states from a table that we'll see later. State, sorry, not states, state. Next property name is state, create and open. And what is the control for state? See, our idea is to use different controls. We'll use drop down now. PX drop down. Just look at here. Just look at here. Table type equal to local list. First value which I'm going to give is select. Simply to display when the control is loaded. Next one, AL, Alabama, Alaska, California, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, Indiana, Washington. Enough. Okay. So you can select the codes. Not required right from Alabama, Alaska. You choose codes for now. Later we'll see. Oh, Connecticut abbreviation CN kada CT అంటే Connecticut city CN I don't know. Oh, you would have googled it. I don't know. I thought this CN or CT. Which one city? Maybe city. City. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead with this one and then save it. Save this for now. Okay, this is being saved. So finally, city. How to populate cities based on state? That will be learning later, not now. Okay, write down city similar to first name. I'll give here for now. City, write down similar to first name. And zip code. So zip code is a text property, right? Save this one. Similar to first name, zip code also. And phone number. City, zip. Both are similar to first name. And next, phone. So what is the phone? Yeah, here type equal to, should not be integer, right? Should choose double. Integer అయితే ఆ number సరిపోదు. Otherwise you can choose it to be text. If you're not going to do any arithmetic operations, you can choose it to be text. Okay. So phone number after email address. Data model property. I'll tell you. Got it. 10 digits, right? I'll tell you. Email. Created over. See, for email, what is the control? It is text only. See, you have a control called ex email, which will do the email. I don't know. Let's see now. Ex email. So this will verify the email address correctness at the rate or something maybe. Okay, we'll see. Otherwise, we can implement it later. Anyway, we'll be implementing. So our properties are done. So what is the next thing? So all the properties are done. I can close the properties here, and if I want to see the properties available here, I will refresh it. Data model, property, all the properties are there. Now I can design the UI. After this section, we'll complete. We'll wind up. Okay. So to design UI, what I need to do? Step 2, designing user interface. Designing user interface by creating section. Step 2, designing user interface by creating section. Okay. So here we go now. Which category? User interface section. Right on. How to create section? Right click on class group, create user interface section. Okay, I will go ahead and create it now. Section, when you create, here you go ahead and give the name of the section. Okay, here label equal to capture customer details SCC. The same name. You also use the same name. Capture customer details. SCC is the convention which I am following. It's up to you. Capture customer details SCC. Okay, so create and open. See, when you create a section here, inside in a section, you have a layout, dynamic layout. I talk about what is the meaning of dynamic layout, but this is the layout. What does this layout says? Drag any number of properties, sections, you have elements and other dynamic layouts, something. Leave about all these things, only bother about properties. Drag any number of properties here. We can drag the properties here. Okay, see now, when you want to drag and drop the properties, here you go ahead to the data model. See, if you pick the property on the name of the property and drag and drop, it will not come. Okay, you need to pick on this 6 dots are there, right? Pick the 6 dots, drag. Once you come here, it will highlight in the saffron color, and then drop here. Just look at here. Again, last name, drag, and down below this, drop. And then age, here, gender, where is it? Drag this one, gender, state, city, drag this one, drop here, zip code, phone, email. Okay. Right? Right up. Drag and drop all the properties into the drag and drop all the properties one by one. Drag and drop all the properties one by one into the layout of section. Okay, full stop, done. Right on. How to add a title to the layout, header title. How to add header title to the layout. What is the header title? When you create a web page, you will see header title, some title to them. Okay. Page not found as open. Okay, I can show you here. See, this is the layout, this is the title. Let's start capturing some basic information about it. This is the title of the layout. Okay, we are going to do that now. Okay, see here now, this is the layout, right? Entire layout. If you want to select the layout, click on this layout here. You have a dot, you can click on this one also. Just look at here, layout, and here is the magnifier. When you mouse around it, it will show view properties, VR symbol. If you click on this, it will show a pop-up to you. This will be closing in next 5 minutes. Okay, here you'll see display header and title. Select this one. Here should be able to enter the title. Okay, so right now select the layout, select the dynamic layout, and click on view properties icon. Select the dynamic layout and click on view properties icon. So I have to wind up sharp 10 tomorrow because many people have to go to office. Click on view properties icon. So if you mouse over onto the icon only, it will show view properties. It's a gear symbol. Okay. See here, it will display pop-up. Every time you click on view properties icon, any place it will bring a pop-up. That is common. Then select display header and title in the pop-up. Select display header and title in the pop-up. See here, I can enter the title. Okay, same title. Let's start capturing basic information about you. Okay. One dot I can do. Let's start capturing basic information about you. Something you can write on whatever you want. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. So title equal to, here you will enter. Let's start capturing basic information about you. Anything you want to enter, you can enter. It's up to you. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. And then after you are done with this one, you need to click on this submit icon. Click on this submit button. Sorry. Click on this submit button in the pop-up, and then save the section. So that one you will see at runtime. Okay, this is what a section, flow, action, flow, and 3, 4, 5 steps we will see tomorrow. Step 3, 4, 5 and all we'll see tomorrow. And also you can give the alignment of the controls. If you go here, here also you'll see layout format. Line grid double, if you choose and click on submit, you'll see like this. Okay, something like this. If you want to choose other, and here it will show, click the down arrow. If you choose this one, I'll show this tomorrow to you. Okay, so for today we can go ahead and wind up. The best way of designing we'll see later. For now it is default. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. So you can wind up today. If you're going, if you have any issues during the installation, you can ping me on WhatsApp. We'll do it. Okay. So everyone online, complete this course by tomorrow. We'll work on other stuff tomorrow. So everything will go one by one. It is connected. If you have learned this, then only you can learn the other things. State, city, drop down, population, and also you will be learning later. WhatsApp lo ping cheyandi first. Call chestunnaru, ping chestane respond avutadi. Okay. So any questions, any doubts? Can I wind up for today? Okay, thank you. I'm going to wind up for today. So tomorrow, if it is raining, you join online. Otherwise, you have to come down. Offline is strictly not allowed online. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone, you can go.
Harsha? Harsha?
Yeah. Who is this?
Hasanna. Can you send the installation link folder?
Yeah, I will send. I have sent you, I think. I did not send that.
Yeah. Please send the software and please update the website that 2 previous classes have.
I will try to do that today because I don't have that video. I will check it. You follow this one. Should be able to follow from yesterday. Follow this. I'll find out the right video. In software, I'm going to send it out.
Your voice is breaking.
Software, I'm going to send you.
Okay. Video
అదే చెప్తున్నాడు ఆ వీడియో నాకు కనపడలేదు ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ కదా
first Friday Thursday classes.
Yeah. From yesterday, whatever that is going to, you follow that.
Okay.
అది ఫాలో అంటే అది నేను చూస్తాను అది ఎక్కడ కనపడలేదు చూడాలి. ఓకే
Okay.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. Yes. Anyone ask something? Okay. Thank you very much for joining.